Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back to a new lecture, Year 1, English section, Principles of Management. Inshallah, this lecture we will discuss Chapter 8, Part 1. We will discuss the topic of the manager as a planner and strategist. We will see what's the difference between planning and strategy inside the organization, and we will discuss issues related to these main concepts and these main activities related to managers inside the organization. Let's see. After learning this chapter, you should be able to identify the three main steps of the planning process and the relationship between planning and strategy. Also, you will be able to learn some concepts related to planning and strategy, and you will identify the different levels of planning inside the organization. We will take this chapter on two parts. Okay, we'll divide this chapter to two parts, and this time in this lecture we will discuss only these three topics. Inshallah, next lecture we will continue with the chapter. Okay, let's start. Before discussing planning and strategy and the difference between planning and strategy, remember what we have said in chapter 1. We have said in chapter 1 that management as a process, or managers as acting inside the organization, they have main activities. They are performing main activities. Remember the managerial functions and the managerial activities inside the organization. How many activities managers were playing inside the organization? They are planning all the time, they are leading, they are organizing, and they are controlling. The main four activities that we have discussed multiple times before, as said in chapter 1, planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. This chapter discusses the first function of management, okay? The first managerial function, the function of planning. What do we mean managers are planning? This is what we want you to know from this chapter. What are the activities related to planning? And what is the difference between planning and strategy? Let's see. Planning is identifying and selecting appropriate goals and courses of action for an organization. Manager's function, the managerial main function, is to set organizational goals. Okay? So planning, at this stage, the manager is identifying and then selecting appropriate goals and courses of action for his organization. Yani, when we are saying that managers are planning, we mean managers are selecting appropriate and setting appropriate goals for the organization. The outcome of the planning process is the organizational plan. Okay? And we have said that before in chapter 1. You have to revise chapter 1 once more. You will see that each function has an outcome. The outcome of the planning function performed by managers is the organizational plan. Okay? The organizational plan results from the planning process, and it details the goals and specifies how managers will attain these goals. If I have my organizational plan, the plan should contain details related to the goals set by the manager, and it also should contain details related to how I will attain these goals. Here comes the strategy. Okay? The strategy are the cluster of decisions and actions that the managers take to help the organization reach the goal. If I have set the goal, then I need to know how I will reach this goal. The strategy tells me how I will reach this goal. The strategy is the cluster of decisions, and we have discussed decisions in chapter 7, last chapter. We have discussed everything related to decisions, okay, the decision-making process and everything. You have to revise chapter 7 to know what we're talking about. So, strategy is the cluster of decisions and actions that managers take to help an organization reach its goals. طبعا, we should know that planning is an activity to be fulfilled in the future. So I'm setting a plan now, I'm setting a goal now, and I need to fulfill this goal in the future. So I need to have a strategy that will help me in fulfilling these goals. Let's see. So, from what we have said, we can identify the difference between planning and strategy. Planning determines or answers the question of where the organization is going. Okay? So, planning determines where I'm going to be in the future. Okay? I have a current situation. I need to be in a different situation, in a better situation maybe in the future. So, planning determines where the organization is going in the future. On the other hand, strategy determines how you will get there. Okay? By pulling some decisions and determining the strategy of the organization. I hope this is very clear, and that planning answers the questions of where we're going, and strategy determines how I will get there. Each organization, each manager of each organization should identify the mission statement of the organization. What is the mission statement of the organization? It's a written statement. It's a statement that specifies the organization's purpose in the market it's operating in. Why my organization is operating in this market? What actually do I do in this market? What is my business in this market? Why did I open a business in this market? Okay, so the mission statement is a broad declaration of the organization's overriding purpose in the market it's operating in. I hope this is clear. So each organization is present in the market to satisfy certain demand, okay, to give its services, to provide its services, to produce certain product, okay. So as a manager, you should clearly specify why I am present in this market. How I should specify this? I should specify this in a written statement that is called the mission statement. The mission statement is a broad declaration of an organization's overriding purpose in the market it is operating in. Type. What is inside this mission statement? It should identify what is unique and important about the organizational products. It should identify what is unique or important about my product or about my service. Why my service is unique from the competitors. You know, we are living in a world of competition. Every organization now is competing not only nationally, however, it's competing internationally. Okay, you name the organization, name any organization, you will find that it is competing nationally and internationally at the same time. So, what is unique about my product or service that will motivate the customer to buy it or to use it? Okay, the mission statement should state that. Okay, also the mission statement should distinguish or differentiate the organization from its competitors. Okay, we are all in the business of selling mobiles, for example, or producing mobiles. What is different? What differentiates me from the competitor? The mission statement should declare this clearly. Okay, so we have our mission statement. It's the broad declaration of the organization's overall or overriding purpose in the market it is operating in. Either it's operating in a production market, it's an industrial producing company, or it is providing services in the environment. Okay, either or, product or service. It should clearly specify the purpose it is in operating in this market for. Okay, for example, if you can take an organization to make this more clear. Let's say, for example, Samsung organization. Okay, you should go Google this, Google the mission statement of Samsung, for example. Okay, you should go, for example, and Google the mission statement of let's take an entertaining company, Disney, for example. Okay, Disney Corporation, for example. Okay, the Walt Disney Corporation. You will see that they will say that we are in the business of entertaining people. Okay, but they won't state it like that. It should be different from, it should be unique, it should be differentiated, distinguished from its competitors. So you will find them saying, for example, in their mission statement, we are in the business of creating fairy tales. We are in the business of fulfilling your dreams. Okay? This is a mission statement. Well, mission statement for sure it should be written and circulated, and everybody in the organization should know clearly what is the mission statement of our organization. Okay? Because the goal is inside the mission statement as well. Okay, let's move to another thing, the steps in the planning process. We have mainly 3 main steps in the planning process. 3 main steps. Okay, each step in the planning process entails certain activities. Okay, who is responsible for planning يا شباب? Who is responsible for planning? You as managers, you are the one responsible for planning. طيب, what is planning? To recall, planning is one of the managerial functions inside the organization. Managers all the time, they are performing 4 functions: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. And planning is the first function performed by managers inside the organization. Now, we are discussing the 3 steps related to planning. Okay? What are these 3 steps? First of all, I have to determine the organization's mission and goals. Okay? Mission, as we have seen, we have to set the mission statement of the organization. I have to clearly define why should I compete in this market, how I will compete in this market, how my product or service will be differentiated in this market. The first step, I have to determine the organization's mission and set the goals. This is the first step in the planning process. Okay? Activities related to this step includes defining the business I will be working in and establishing the major organizational goals. Then the second step, I have to formulate the strategy. Okay? Formulating the strategy entails, or the activities that is contained in the step is to analyze the current situation and develop strategies. Remember what we have said about the difference between planning and strategy. Planning determines what, ya shabab? Planning determines what? Planning determines where the organization is going. That's why in the first step in the planning process here, I'm defining the business and establishing the major organizational goals. Why I'm doing that? Because at this step, I need to know where I'm going. Okay? The second step in the planning process here, formulating strategy, I need to answer the question of how I should get there, how I will fulfill the plan. Okay? Second step in the planning process is formulating strategy. It means analyzing the current situation and develop strategies. Okay? Analyze the current situation and develop strategies to reach the future situation that I need. The last step in, or the third step in the planning process is to implement the strategy. التنفيذ بتاع الايه؟ الstrategy. I have to implement the strategy that I took the decision related to. طيب, what are the activities included in this step? In the step of implementing the strategy, I have to allocate resources and responsibilities to achieve the strategies. Okay? يبقى here the responsibility is to allocate resources and allocate responsibilities to achieve the strategies. Okay? If you remember that one of the roles played, we have 10 roles played by managers inside the organization, as we have said in chapter 1. If you take a quick look at chapter 1, how you have studied chapter 1, you should have studied chapter 1 actually, you will find that Mansberg gave us 10 main roles of managers. One of them was resource allocator. Okay, here comes allocate resources. Here you are playing the role of resource allocator. Okay, so we have steps in the planning process. Number 1, in some details, determining the organization's mission and goals. This means identifying the organization overall purpose and its goals. This is step number 1 in the planning process. Step number 2 in the planning process, formulating strategy. The manager analyzes the current situation and develop the strategies needed to achieve the mission. Okay? The manager is formulating the organizational strategy. He's analyzing his current situation. Okay? And develop strategies needed to achieve the mission. طيب, the mission هنا في step number 1 هنا tells me where I should be in the future. Okay? Here, at the second step, we are talking about the current situation. I need to know first what is my current situation to know how I will get to achieve this future stage. Okay? Right. The last step in the planning process is implementing the strategy, and managers must decide how to allocate the resources between groups to ensure that that strategy is achieved based on the strategy formulated here. Okay? Definitely, the planning process does not stop at this stage. At all stages, you are performing controlling as well. You have to see what's going inside the organization, what is going related to your plan and related to your strategy. Are you really fulfilling your strategy or not? Is something going wrong or not? You should get feedback through control. Okay? What is the nature of the planning process? To perform the planning task, you as manager, you should first establish where an organization is at the present time. I need to know my situation. Where am I at the present time? Okay? Then I have to determine its desired future state. Where should I see myself? Where do I see myself in the future? What do I need to achieve in the future? What do I need to fulfill in the future? Okay? Third, you have to decide how to move forward to reach this future state. Okay? So, the nature of the planning process, as managers, I have to know exactly what is my present situation. I have to determine the future state I need to reach, and I have to decide to move forward to this future state. If we take a quick look at that, okay, we will see that establishing where an organization is at the present time and determining its future design, this is related to planning. Where should I be in the future? Okay? What am I now and where should I be in the future? So I'm putting a plan. I'm setting the goal. Okay? Then how to move forward to reach this future state? This is the strategy. Here comes the strategy. How I will reach my future stage. So why planning is important? Why do we say that planning is one of the functions, one of the main functions of managers inside the organization? It's one of the pillars of the management process. We have 4 pillars of management process: planning, organizing, leading, and control. Why is planning so important? Okay, why should I give some time to plan for the future? Okay, why not leaving everything like that and what comes around goes around, and okay, without planning or anything? Why is planning important? Why is planning important? Planning is important because of 4 main reasons. First of all, it is necessary to give the organization a sense of direction and purpose. The organization needs a sense of direction. Where I am and where should I go? How should I compete? Okay, what is my present state in the competition? What is my present state in the market share? In the market I'm competing in. Okay, so the first importance of planning is it is necessary to give the organization a sense of direction and purpose. The second reason is that planning is a useful way of getting managers to participate in decision making. Remember decision making and what we've said about decision making in chapter 7? Planning is a useful way of getting all the managers across all the organizational departments to participate in decision making. Okay? And the third reason of why planning is important, because it helps coordinating managers of the different functions and divisions of an organization. When we are planning together, when we are taking decisions together related to where the organization is and where should it be in the future, this helps coordinating. Okay? We are coordinating, we are getting together the different functions and the different divisions of the organization. We are making them speak to each other, speaking the same language. The production department, the marketing department, the human resource department, the financial department, the research and development department, all these managers, they coordinate together to get out with a plan that will make the organization move in one direction. So we are all attaining a certain goal, one goal. Remember unity that we have talked about in chapter 2? Okay? One of the principles of how to organize the organization. The fourth reason of why planning is important, because it can be used as a device for controlling managers. I can control our managers fulfilling their goals or not. Are they moving in the right direction or not? So these are the four main reasons why planning is important. It's necessary to give the organization a sense of direction and purpose. It is a useful way to getting managers to participate in decision making. It helps coordinate the managers of different functions inside the organization and different divisions. And it can be used as a device for controlling managers. Some important qualities related to planning. Yeah, not all planning is good planning. We have good plans and we have successful plans and we have failure plans. Okay? So, what are the important qualities related to planning that makes planning better? First of all, unity. Unity means at any one time there should be only one central plan guiding the whole organization. Only one plan is put into operation. All the departments should be fulfilling only one plan, each with his part. The marketing people with their part, the production people with their part. Each one should participate, should coordinate. However, we should have unity, which means at any one time, only one central guiding plan is put into operation. The second important quality related to planning is continuity, which means that planning is an ongoing process in which managers build and refine previous plans and continually modify the plan at all levels. Yani planning is not a once for time activity. It's an ongoing process. Managers build plans and refine these plans, and then they modify the plan, and then they plan again. Okay? It's a continuous process. The third quality, or the third important quality related to planning is accuracy, الدقة. I should be accurate. I should put forward an accurate plan دقيقة. Okay? It means that managers need to make every attempt to collect and utilize all available information at their disposal. Remember when we talked about decision making? Remember when we talked about the information and how information costs? And what are the biases related to collecting this information? I should be accurate. Plans should have accuracy. Managers need to make every attempt to collect and utilize all relevant information at their disposal. All available information or relevant information. And last but not least, flexibility. You as manager, you should be flexible. Your plans should be flexible. You can alter the plan, change the plan if the situation changes. Okay? Remember the biases, remember the escalation of commitment bias that we have discussed in chapter 7, the decision making. You shouldn't have these biases. You should be flexible. Okay? You have set a plan. However, the situation changes, change your plan. Put scenario plans. Plan A, plan B, plan C. Each will work provided the situation changes. Okay? So these are four main qualities, important qualities related to planning. Unity, continuity, accuracy, flexibility. We are talking about this, the business or divisional level. What do we mean by these divisions? The aircraft division, the financial service division. This is example. These are examples inside the General Electric Corporation. But these are divisions inside the organization. Okay? What do we mean by divisions? A division is a business unit that has its own set of managers and departments and competes in a distinct industry. Okay? The division is a separate business unit inside the organization. This unit has its own set of managers and departments. يعني each unit, each division عنده البرودكشن department بتاعه, الماركتنج department بتاعه, الفاينانشال department, الR&D department for each division. Okay? And it competes in a distinct industry, in a different industry. We can find one company, it operates restaurants. It has a TV channel. It's building offices, for example. It's in producing or introducing mobile phones. It gives communication ideas. Okay, different divisions. Each division is a separate business unit. It has its own separate set of managers and departments, and it competes in a distinct industry. So the division acts as a separate organization inside the organization, as if we have the umbrella organization, and this organization has different organizations inside it. Organizations can have many divisions inside them, and each division competes in different industrial or service sector type. So we need divisional managers. We need a new kind of managers that are divisional managers. These are the managers who control the various divisions of the organization. These are the managers who control the various divisions of an organization. Okay, then the last thing we need to discuss is the levels of planning. As we have seen on the chart before, we have the corporate level plan. The corporate level plan, this is the plan set at the top of the organization, top management decisions pertaining to the organization's mission, the organization overall strategy and structure, and it provides a framework for all other planning. This is the corporate level plan. The corporate level plan, this is the plan provided by the top managers of the organization. The corporate level plan determines the organization's mission, it determines the organization's overall strategy, and it determines the organization's overall structure. The corporate level plan provides a framework for all other planning. So we need a corporate level strategy for this plan. Plan tells me where should I go, and the strategy tells me how I will get there. This is translation of where, how to get to planning. So I have the corporate level strategy. The corporate level strategy is the plan that indicates in which industries and national markets an organization intends to compete. Okay? This is the corporate level strategy and plan. At the second level, the business or the divisional level plan. We have a divisional level plan. This is two long-term divisional goals that will allow the division to meet corporate goals and the division business level and structure to achieve the goals. So we have long-term divisional goals. The business level plan determines the long-term divisional goals that will allow the division to meet its corporate goals. That number one. And we have the divisional business level and structure to achieve the goals. This leads us to business level strategy. We will talk about different business level strategies next lecture, inshallah. Okay, the main topic of next lecture is discussing the business level strategy. Okay, in some detail. So we have the business level strategy. This outlines the specific methods a division or the business unit or the organization will use to compete effectively against its rivals in the industry. Okay, at this stage. The last level is the functional level plan. We have a plan at the functional level. This determines the goals that managers of each function, the production function, the marketing function, the human resource function, the financial function, each manager of each function sets the goals of each function and what will each function will pursue, what each department will pursue. This helps the division to attain the business level goals. يعني as we see يا جماعة, in each level helps the level before it, okay, to achieve the goals. So we have functional strategy. This is a plan of action that the manager of the organization functions can take to add value to the organization's goods and services. Okay, this is all that